What is up, everybody? Today I have a little bit of a weirder build, but it does work and I do like it personally. So I'm just going to get into it. Today we're going to be working with a Rat King, a year 1 vanilla Destiny 2 weapon that not a lot of people like that much. Paired with bombardiers, another exotic that gets overshadowed by a lot of things. I've personally always loved it for PvP. But in PvE, it hasn't been doing too great, but with this season's rework to it, it is a whole lot better, especially on the subclass we're using today, which is Middle Tree Gunslinger, so Blade Barrage. Now, the reason I paired these two together, which at face value doesn't make too much sense, is because Rat King has a lot of things that help you defensively. Whenever you get a kill or whenever you reload after getting a kill, you turn invisible. And if you have the catalyst, it also heals you after that. So, because of that, you can use your dodge more aggressively. You're invisible, so they won't be able to fight. I mean, sometimes they do still hit you, but they don't actively try to shoot you. And you are at full health at that point. So, you can run in there and dodge, and because Bombardier's new thing, the bomb has burn whenever you're a golden gun. So it burns, it gives you stacks of playing with fire. On Blade Barrage, you throw your melee. Your melee also gives you playing with fire, meaning that you get your melee and your dodge way faster all the time. And you are able to spam these on champions actually, which is really fun. But Rat King is kind of underrated in some builds. I wouldn't say it's as good as Crimson for just survivability, but I do think that it is overlooked. Not to mention the fact that this season, this build has both Overload and Unstoppable because we have Unstoppable Sidearm and we have Overload Solar Melees. And being that you can spam Middle Tree Golden Gun's melee as much as you can, it's a no-brainer to use it, really. And that's before we even talk about some of the other artifact mods we have this season, like hands-on. Melee kills give you more super energy. And then Thermoclassic Blooming. Melee kills that are solar stasis drop orbs of power, meaning that you can have your super really fast, which granted me a special playstyle of stunning the overload with my melee, and then dodging, preferably, and then dropping my Blade Barrage on it just to finish it off. And that worked pretty well. And then I'd have my melee back, that I could use it. Also, use incendiary grenades. The reason is it applies burn. Burn gives you stacks of playing with fire. Playing with fire gives you dodge back. Dodge gives you melee back. It's just a cycle of that. There's some play you could have with the mods, and I'll get into that here in a little bit, but I just want to do the call to action YouTube thing real quick. Hey, if you like this video, maybe you should subscribe with notifications on so you can see a new build every week. Also, like the video, and if you have any ideas for builds or exotics you want to see used in a build or something like that, just comment down below what you want to see, and I'll look into it. Also, I do have a Twitch. I streamed me using this build the other day on there. I also have a Twitter, and I also have a Discord server if you'd like to join. I want to get more into LFG on there, and some Destiny fashion, and then some just general community night stuff. So if you want to join that, you're free to. It should be down in the pinned comment down below along with all of my other links. So back to the video. Okay, now for mods, what I suggest most of all is Well of Tenacity. If you don't know what that is, basically it's just more survivability. If you pick up a Void Elemental Well, it gives you resistance. Another one that I highly suggest is Well of Utility. It gives you your class ability energy back whenever you pick a Void Elemental Well. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're using a kinetic weapon with the weapons you're using in this gameplay on a solar subclass, how are you making so many Elemental Wells that are Void? Basically, the answer to that is Reaping Wellmaker. It is a great mod to have, especially on a hunter, specifically Blade Barrage. The reason for that is whenever you cast your class ability, your next kill will spawn in a Void Elemental Well, and if you get your class ability as much as you do as a Blade Barrage hunter, it just makes it really easy to spam that, picking up Void Elemental Wells and keeping up resistance, keeping up your class ability to do it all again. It's just a really good combo. And then you should probably also run other combat style mods too, and those have a little more freedom to them. So personally, I use Well of Potency paired with Elemental Light. I think in retrospect I would replace Elemental Light with Seeking Wells. That way I have the wells pulled to me. But other things you can use is you could trade out Well of Utility for maybe Melee Well Maker, and then pair that with Elemental Charge to get Charge with Light, and then Surprise Attack to make Rat King do more damage. That is the main problem with Rat King, is without a fire team using it, its DPS is kind of lacking. But other than that, it's fine. And then you could just play with it. You can't really use Font of Might because Rat King is kinetic, and your subclass isn't, so it just doesn't work. But I encourage you to play around with that. Well of Potency is always fun to use. But yeah, just mess around with those two mods and find out what you like best. And this build is a lot of fun. Again, it isn't for the most difficult content. It's for probably mid-range content, I'd say. But Rat King is kind of slept on. I wouldn't say it's better than Crimson at what it does, but with this build, you get resistance, you're invisible, so it's basically a free Omnioculus, and you get healed every time you get a kill. Because if you get a kill and reload, you go invisible, you heal, and if it was right after a dodge, you also get resistance. So that's why I like this build. I hope you try it out and have a lot of fun with it. And if you have ideas for things to make builds around, comment them down below. Or if you have full build ideas, just tell me. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next week.